All right, let's dive into the Korean wave, or Hallyu. We're going to take a close look at how this absolute cultural juggernaut is changing, like right now, in real time.
So we all know K-pop and K-dramas have pretty much taken over the world, right? But here's the thing. In a market this competitive, getting to the top is one thing. Staying there is a whole different ballgame. So the real question is, what's the game plan? How is this phenomenon actually evolving to keep that incredible momentum going? Let's get into it.
First up, K-pop. You know, the industry's next chapter isn't just one simple story. It's actually a wild mix of, on one hand, this bold global expansion, and on the other, this really fascinating evolution for its biggest stars. And of course, with all that success comes some pretty complicated new challenges.
For the longest time, the K-pop model was basically about exporting this perfectly polished product. But the new playbook? It's way more ambitious. We're talking about global integration. It's not just about sending K-pop out anymore, it's about bringing global talent in. And, well, a recent debut shows us exactly how they're doing it.
So, say hello to Nunew Chawarin. In Thailand, this guy is a massive star. They literally call him the nation's son. And he's just made his official debut in Korea. Now, this is not just some simple feature or collab. Nope, this is a full-blown integration of a huge, beloved local artist right into the K-pop machine. And since he's a big fan of groups like BTS and Blackpink himself, you can see the strategy here, right? It's a brilliant way to merge these massive fan bases and really deepen K-pop's roots all across Asia.
So while the industry is looking outwards for new talent, its established stars are also breaking new ground. But they're doing it from the inside out, by kind of flipping the script on the images their own fans have of them.
A perfect example is Dayoung from the group WJSN. If you're a fan, you probably know her for being super quick and funny on variety shows. But her recent solo single, it was a total surprise hit. And that's because it showed off a whole different side of her, this incredible musical depth she's been building for over a decade as an idol. It just goes to show you how artists are using these solo projects to reveal these hidden talents and honestly, get fans to fall in love with them all over again for totally new reasons.
But of course, this kind of explosive growth is never that simple. The bigger an industry gets, the trickier its growing pains become. And right now, there's a huge flashpoint bubbling up around creative rights and, you guessed it, the super passionate fan culture that really is the heart of K-pop.
This recent controversy over lightstick designs explains it perfectly. So, fans noticed that the lightsticks for two different groups, the Boys and QWRR, looked, well, a little too similar. And that sparked this huge debate online. See, for fans, a lightstick isn't just a piece of merch, it is everything. It's a symbol of their identity and their connection to the group. The whole thing got so big that the Korea Entertainment Producers Association had to step in and issue an official statement. That's a huge deal. And it really shows you just how seriously the industry is taking these clashes over creativity and identity.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about K-dramas, because they are writing a totally new playbook of their own. If K-pop is evolving by bringing the world in and dealing with these identity issues, K-dramas are evolving through just sheer, unapologetic confidence. Confidence in their stories and confidence in their strategies. And the perfect case study for this is the new Netflix drama All Your Wishes Come True. I mean, just look at this lineup. You've got superstar actors Kim Woo-bin and Suzy. You've got this wild premise. A genie meets a woman with a psychopathic personality. What? And a really, really unusual way of promoting it.
And that's what's so telling, really, the promotion. They held a massive press conference with just the actors. That's it. No writer, no director, which almost never happens. It's such a power move. It basically screams, we are so confident in our stars and our story that that's all you need to see. It's a bet on pure star power and a killer concept to grab a global audience.
And this points to a bigger trend you could call rom-com reinvention. K-dramas are taking a genre everyone knows and loves and just injecting it with these wonderfully weird, high-concept twists. I mean, a 1,000-year-old genie meeting a modern woman with a psychopathic side? It's so fresh, it's so bold, and it guarantees that even a familiar setup feels like something you've never, ever seen before.
Okay, so let's zoom out. We've talked about K-pop's global game and its growing pains, and K-drama's all-out creative confidence. So what's the big takeaway when you put all of that together?
Well, it really boils down to this. Hallyu is moving forward on two parallel tracks. On one side, you have K-pop, which is all about integration and expansion, basically bringing the world in. And on the other, you have K-drama, which is taking huge creative and promotional risks, confidently pushing its one-of-a-kind stories out.
But here's the key. These two very different strategies,
they're both pointing toward one single massive goal: making sure the Hallyu wave doesn't just survive, but continues to absolutely dominate the global stage.
Which brings us to one last really interesting question. As these creative industries grow at like lightning speed, how do they manage that balance between inspiration and just straight-up originality? When you think back to that whole light stick debate, it's pretty clear that for a global movement built on pure creativity, that line between innovation and imitation is more important and definitely more blurry than ever before. So what do you think?